Hey guys, this is Gagan, and in this video we'll be solving one Leetcode question related to trees. Now this is seems a pretty basic question if you are like starting to solve some problems related to trees. So this question basically revolves around finding the diameter of a binary tree, and if you are not aware of binary tree, which basically means that uh, it will be a tree that has at most two childs. So each node will have basically two childs. Like for example, so this is, let's say, my root node, and so at most it can have at most two childs. So it's not possible to have like three child of node 1. Okay, so that's just one. But yeah, let's come back to the main problem. So in this problem we basically need to find the diameter of a binary tree. So by binary we basically mean that we have to um, find the distance between the left and the rightmost node. So for example, if we have this kind of tree, so the diameter would be the maximum path between any two particular nodes in the tree. So if we find the distance between node 4 and 3, so it will be 1, 2 and 3. So basically this seems to be maximum, but let's say if I try to find the distance between node 2 and 3, so it will be, if I start from 2, I will go 1 and 2, so it just returns me 2. Likewise, if I try to find the distance between 5 and 3, it will give me a distance of 1, 2 and 3. So it's just so the maximum is either between 4 and 3 or 5 and 3, right? So that's the problem statement. But like, what should be the logic behind solving this problem? So if you kind of try to understand like the problem, so we have to like go down. We can probably use a depth first search in this, and we can actually go down. We can start from the node and then go to the left child, the bottommost child, and then we can try to find the for the leftmost node. First try to find what's the highest number that I can get from the either from the left or the right child. So for example, for 4 there is no left or right child, so um, at this particular node the left and right are basically 0, so we'll have the child as 0. But if we move on to next 2 and then I try to find out the left and the right child, so left child contains 1 here, and for right also there is a 1, so maximum of 1 and 1 is 1. I think you should try to use a paint, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that in this. But I think there is one possible method in which we can use a whiteboard, I guess, in Leetcode. I'm not sure though. Insert image, create a link. Okay. Toggle preview. Okay, so I cannot. It seems I cannot do it. Alright, so let me at least try to draw it and just visualize. It will actually help you visualize the logic of this problem. So what's the tree that I have? I have okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 5. Okay. Okay, so where is that color? Okay, I got. So we are basically trying to use depth first search in this, and we go down on the leftmost child at the bottom, and here we say that there are no childs of these neither left or right. So the left length and the right length both are 0, but at this particular level, this we can say that it is, let's say, at level we can kind of assign some additional 1 to either the left and the right child. So the number associated with 4 is 1. But now let's go to this particular element. Now if we try to see the left and the right lengths, so both are actually 1, and so basically the left for 2 is 1, and for right also it's 1. And if we try to find the maximum of these, so it's actually 1 only, and we try to add one more 1 to actually actually I think we don't need to add 1. So so for 4 it was 0, and for 2 it will be 1, because maximum length on either left or right is 1. Now we talk about 1, but for 1, before talking about 1, we need to first talk about 3. So for 3 also there are no left or right child, so it number associated. So basically the maximum length on either left or right side below 3 is 0. Now coming back to 1, so if we see on the left side we have number 1 associated with that, on the right side it's 0, and the maximum of these two is 1. So 1 is associated with the root node. Alright, now let's try to code this logic in our window. So initially, I'm using depth first search, so I'm defining one recursive function for this, which will take a tree node as a argument, and inside this, so I need to store the length of the left path and right path as well. So for the left path, I'll be starting with the root node, but I'll be going down to the bottom left part first, since it's a depth first search. So for that, I'll go to the left node first, and similarly I'll go to the right path. So once I have the lengths of the left and the right path for a particular node, which were in this case 0 and 0, I'll actually store one answer which I need to update for after I kind of traverse each node. So it will basically be the highest number of L plus R, but for this I also need to initialize this answer variable as 0. Okay, but for I actually have to return the highest of either left or the right child. So for example, consider this particular scenario where the left path gives me 1, but right path is all giving me only 0. So for the parent, I need to take the highest path, which is the maximum path of 1. So for this, I should actually take what? Max of L and R. And yeah. And what shall we do after that? We can just call this DFS function on our root node, and then we can return the cell.answer. But there is one problem here. So I was calling the wrong function name. So once we have done this, let's try to see. So okay. So basically, what happens if there is an empty node? So what should we do in that case? So in that case, you can just return 0. So if not node, return 0, because in this scenario, like 5 has no child, right? So in this case, we need to return 0. So we return 0. Okay. Basically, there is a problem in this scenario. So when I'm actually trying to return the path, the maximum path of either left and right, I actually need to add +1, because I need to consider the current position as well, right? Because if you see, okay, it's really messy now. I need to wait. So basically, when okay, wait. So I have, for this too, I find the left and the right path as 1 and 1, but if I try to see the total path length between these two, it's actually +1, because I need to consider this level as well. So I'll be adding +1 over here. Yep. So let's see if it should now work for all the test cases now. We'll start Sambarat. Yep, it passes all the test cases. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.